Hey everyone, Dean Rojas here, and I want to talk to you about my popping frog. And I know a lot of people love to throw the bait. I really love to throw it in all sorts of different situations. But I get asked the question, what's the weirdest thing you've ever done with a popping frog in catching bass? And you know, I remember one tournament in particular that kind of showed me you know, the outer limits of what you can do with this bait. We were fishing a tournament on Lake Gunnersville, and there was a shad spawn, and I was catching them on a point, and I was, catching them on a top water bait, every now and again, and I'd hook them up and bring them back to the boat, and I'd have to fight them all the way back to the boat and get them in. They got treble hooks laying everywhere, and I just happened to have my popping frog tied on. So I thought, let me just give this a try and see if they'll bite this thing, because they were schooling up, busting on the shad. And I make one cast in there with that thing, and I get 2 pops on it, and a 4-pounder just annihilates it, right? So I set the hook as hard as I can, and I'm winching him in, much like I would do when I'm frog fishing, going down the bank. Well, I sat there for almost an hour throwing my popping frog for schooling fish that were feeding on shad, throwing a frog bait, which is so cool. When you can use 80-pound test line and a big heavy rod and being able to winch those fish back into the boat, you are so much more efficient. You're not going to lose the fish. You're gonna get them in the boat. So that really opened my eyes to that. So now I do it a lot. Every time I see busting fish, I always pull out my popping frog, and people go, "What are you doing?" Until they see what happens. The fish come up and they clobber it. For whatever reason, that bait really generates a lot of strikes, whether it be for, they think it's a frog or a hurt bird or, shad or whatever it might be on the surface. So it's just one more thing that I have in my arsenal that you can have in your arsenal also when you're out there, fishing along and you see some fish busting, and don't be afraid to throw the popping frog in there and catch some fish on it.